Just waiting for, there we go. All right, guys, we're going to get into the show very, very quickly today. And today we're talking about redefining hard work. Now, quick summary why we're talking about this is because really and truly, a lot of you guys are just misguided. A lot of you guys think you got to do all of these certain things that really aren't helping you the way that you might think they are. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a story from my the last few years building a business, everything that I've been doing, and then just bring it back to the hard work that you guys do, the training that you put in, and how we can make it better. So guys, I appreciate you all so much for tuning in, and let's get right into it. So we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Elite Development Podcast, the #1 show for athletes looking to gain an edge on their opponents to build their dream careers in sport. I am your host, Kenny Dusseault, and today we are talking about redefining hard work. Now, when I talk about redefining hard work, what do I mean? Basically, what I mean is a lot of the time we go into, things that we care about. So like for myself, building my business, for so many people listening to this, building your career as an athlete, we go into so many things that we care about thinking, I just need to work harder than everybody. And while I do agree with that you need to bust your ass, you need to work fucking hard, you need to put in hours that others aren't willing to put in. One thing that I know I fell victim to, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit, is where I'm putting those hours in not being the best use of them. And this is something I see a lot with athletes. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, the last few years building up my business, a little bit about that journey, but don't worry, it's going to be coming back to exactly what you guys need as well. So let's get right into it. So when I started my business in 2019, I had one vision in mind. I was just going to do more than anybody else was willing to do. And as a result, I was going to build this awesome business and, life was going to be great. And basically, when I thought about doing more than anybody was willing to do, what I thought about was I need to watch more videos, read more books. I need to be the absolute best coach that I can possibly be. And then business is going to be great. And while I do absolutely agree, being good at your craft, for myself, being a good coach needs to come first. Because, even if if you're able to build a business, but you're shitty at what you do, it's not going to be that great for anybody. And the same thing for athletes, right? It's like if you work super hard, but you don't improve your skills, you're not going to get that far. So commitment to the craft absolutely needs to come first. But in the beginning, when all I was doing was reading more books, watching more videos, what I realized was I was very, very good at coaching, which is what I wanted, which was, fantastic. But I was always stressed. And the reason I was always stressed is because I'd be coaching athletes, but then I didn't have good systems for programming. So when the business started growing a little bit, programs would slip through and oh shit, this person was supposed to get a program on Monday and it's not done. And I was always making these little business mistakes that, weren't coaching quality related, but it always had me stressed out because I always felt like I was forgetting something. I always felt like something wasn't happening that needed to be happening. So as a result, things weren't going as well in the business, right? And the other thing that was always stressful is, a client would leave for whatever reason, problems at their job or whatever else might have happened. And I was always stressed because I didn't know when the next client was coming in the door. So if finances weren't good, somebody left. Now I'm stressing out about, oh no, how am I going to pay rent and all of these kind of financial stresses that come along. And as a result, all of that stress is taking away from the quality that I was delivering to my people. But I kept just thinking, I just got to work more. I've just got to learn more. I've just got to be a better coach. And I realized that in the first couple of years, I worked so hard at just being a better coach, but my business was always stuck. Number of clients was always stuck. The delivery was always stuck. Mistakes were always happening. So the coaching quality was improving, but the quality of the delivery to the athletes wasn't necessarily improving. Myself as a person, if you're always stressed out about stuff, think about if you're going into training and you've got a whole bunch of shit happening at home, life is super stressful, you don't feel good. How does that training session go? Probably not well. right? And that's what was happening to me is I was going into the gym and I was stressed about, financial situation. I was stressed about other things in life. I was stressed about mistakes that I was making, whatever else it might be. And more and more and more, I found that when I was in the gym and I was coaching, I wasn't doing as well with that as I should have been. I wasn't having the right conversations with athletes. I wasn't catching the same things that I used to catch. And so the quality of coaching ended up actually going down. Now, the reason the quality of coaching ended up going down was not because I wasn't a good coach. It's not because I wasn't learning enough. It's not because I wasn't doing enough. And this is where I started to redefine what good coaching or what, hard worker actually meant. When I started to realize these things and it really started to click, I started realizing that, yes, it's obviously very important for me as a coach to be a very good coach. And I still believe that. And I still do my best to learn new things that I can apply to my athletes every single week. But it's also everything around the coaching, right? So for me, that's building the business, understanding how to bring new people into the business, understanding how to make sure clients have a really good experience outside of just the program, understanding how to separate myself from the other people in the market who do what I do, understanding how to better use social media, understanding how to better do all of these other things outside of just working with the athlete, understanding how to build the systems in the back end to make sure that, programs were always delivered on time and programs were, being created in the right way to focus on what the athlete actually needed to focus on. And when I started understanding these things, I started understanding social media. I started understanding the business end of what I was doing. Something amazing happened. Number one is I put myself in a better financial situation, so I wasn't stressing out all the time. I was able to go into the gym and coach and just focus on coaching because I wasn't worried about how I was going to pay rent. I started delivering better to my online athletes because I wasn't stressing about all the little mistakes and things like that all the time. So I was able to create more resources and help more people online because everything in the back end was solid. The systems were good. The business was running smoothly. I ended up being able to hire a team. I have 3 people who work for me now. And those 3 people who work for me all have important roles within the business to help make sure that we are delivering the best possible coaching services to every athlete that works with us. And all of these things allowed me to help more athletes. I now have probably 3 times, 4 times the amount of athletes in my systems and do it smoother and do it easier. Make it less stressful on me, deliver better results to them. And because the stress has gone down, because the systems are good, and I'm not always putting out fires in the business because I've learned how to develop that side of it, there's more time focused on developing as a coach. There's more time focused on learning new things, watching videos, hiring mentors, doing everything that I can do to be the best possible coach that I can be for the athletes that I'm bringing in. And there's more time to focus on that because everything else around me is smoother. And being able to do all of this and being able to help more athletes also allowed me to put myself in a position where the athletes that I was helping are getting better results, which ultimately was the goal in the first place. Because now I have a team and people on that team also have a lot of knowledge. And the people on that team that have a lot of knowledge help me deliver better programs for the athletes. Now, the reason that I'm talking about this, the reason I'm talking about, the journey in business, going from just always just focusing on the coaching to focusing on learning how to actually operate a business as a whole, is because this is a mistake I see athletes make all the time. You want to become a professional fighter, so you think, I just need to be in the gym absolutely as many hours as possible, an hour of bag work every single day, pad sessions every single day, as many private sessions with my coaches as I can, showing up to every single class, sparring twice a week, doing all of this, and you think, I just keep doing this, I'm going to be the best pro fighter out there because nobody's willing to work as hard as me. But the problem, guys, is building a career as a professional athlete, your skill set is one piece of a very big puzzle. Now, don't get me wrong, it is a very, very important piece. Just like I said, coaching quality is still number one in my business. Like, my goal is never to put myself in a position where we're bringing in athletes that we can't deliver proper programs to, because yuck, I don't want to be one of those guys ever. I would rather have a smaller business, make less money than bring in a whole bunch of people and have them all get shitty results. So coaching quality is still number one, but marketing is an important part of a business that keeps people coming in the door. Learning how to build systems to make sure that everybody is taken care of the right way. Learning how to operate the business allows me to become a better coach. And so for athletes, this is down to all the other areas of your training outside of the skills. If all you ever do is work on your skills, you're going to get very good skills, but you're going to be lacking in your recovery. You're going to be lacking in your ability to output those skills at a high level through proper strength and conditioning. You're going to be lacking in your nutrition. You're going to be lacking in your mental strength. You're going to be lacking in so many other areas that those skills aren't going to be able to carry you to the heights that you want. So it's not about just spending the most hours in the gym. Just like for me, it wasn't about who can read the most books on training. It's about redefining what hard work means. It's about taking care of everything so you're better able to take care of the thing that matters most. So for athletes, this is something that I see a lot where athletes will tell me, well, yeah, I'd want to do strength and conditioning, but I just have so many skill sessions that, I just can't because I need that extra work on the skills. And I'll tell you right now, if you're training your skills a few times a week, your skills are improving. Now, am I telling you that you should only train your skills a few times a week? No, you should train your skills often. And I'm never going to tell anyone that training their skills more is a bad thing. But what I will tell you is if you have really good skills and a really shitty gas tank, those good skills don't matter because your opponent needs to survive for a round, maybe two, and then they take over. So with that in mind, would you not want to sacrifice one or two of those skill sessions and throw in a couple of concentrated sessions working on building the gas tank so that you have a better gas tank and still very good skills to match those together? And if you have really good skills and you're training your gas tank, but you sleep like a 10-year-old who's been left home alone for the weekend, same idea. You're not getting the benefits of recovery. If you're not getting the benefits of recovery, you're burning your body out. And if you're burning your body out, those skills aren't developing the same way. You're not taking as much away from your sessions. And in turn, you're not getting the results that you could. So understanding how to prioritize your recovery to actually be at your best when you're coming into your skill sessions is going to be equally as important as making sure you're hitting your skill sessions. Making sure that you're learning how to properly fuel your body like an adult high-level athlete instead of like a fucking child is going to allow you to have more fuel for your skill sessions so that you can output more while you're training. And if you're outputting more while you're training, you're going to be able to put more into your skill sessions, advance faster, and if you're advancing faster, reach higher levels. Right? So the big thing I want you guys to take away as we wrap this up is, yes, skills pay the bills. Like that expression absolutely holds true. But where people get messed up with that expression, where people have it wrong, is that they think that the only way to improve your skills is to just train your skills. But what you've got to understand, if that's you, if you're thinking, well, the only way to get better is just more skills, more skills, more skills, you've got to understand something. You've got to understand that every other athlete out there understands that too. So if you're doing the same things, you're just doing more skills and more skills and more skills because that's what you've been told, skills pay the bills, so you just need to do more. Every other person that is competing for that spot as a professional MMA fighter, that spot in the UFC, that spot as a top-level professional boxer, that $1 million contract here, whatever it might be, every single one of the thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of athletes that are aiming for that same goal understand that and are doing that. Every single one. So now, how do you separate? How do you put yourself in a better situation than them? And the way you're going to do that every single time, I promise you, is by taking care of the rest of the puzzle. Taking care of proper strength and conditioning. taking care of your nutrition, understanding it, investing in it, understanding that if you are fueling your body better, your skills training sessions are going to improve in quality. Understanding and prioritizing recovery. You can work your ass off in the gym, but if you're just using all your energy every day and you're never actually properly recovering from it, you're going to burn yourself out and get hurt. And then all that hard work you do doesn't make a difference. You've got to understand that skills pay the bills, but every other area of being an athlete is crucial if you want to be a successful one. The same way as I went from stressing about how to pay rent to being able to hire a team, being able to travel the world, being able to do all this super cool shit that I'm doing, was instead of just focusing on more books, more videos, more books, more courses, I started focusing on how do I set my life up so it's not stressful, so that day to day I'm good, so that I can put more concentrated, intentional time into developing as a coach. Do I read as many books as I did 4 years ago? No. But the books I read and the videos I watch and the courses I do are focused directly around what I need to make the biggest impact on my athletes. And as a result, the business has grown, more athletes are getting better results, and everybody wins. And that's the same for you. If you take a little bit of time out of that skills training you're doing, put it into proper strength and conditioning to build up a stronger, more explosive, faster, better conditioned body, put it into learning about nutrition, actually cooking healthy, proper meals so that your body's properly fueled for your training, putting it into recovery time, putting it into all those other areas, then you're going to get better results. You're going to be thinking clearer. You're going to be able to push harder within the training you're doing. And as a whole, your career is going to improve drastically. So guys, that is it. That is all. I appreciate you all so much for taking the time to tune in. If you learned something from this, if you got, some value, if there's something in here that's going to make you rethink how you're training or something you're going to implement, I would love to hear what it is. Shoot me a message across any of my social media platforms. The ways that you can do that are going to be linked in the show notes below. As always, I appreciate you all so, so very much, and I will catch you all on the next episode.